I never thought love could be a doorway to hell. When I was younger, I believed love was the sweetest thing on earth, the butterflies, the late-night texts, the promises of forever. But on the night of May 14th, 2019, I discovered something terrifying. There is a dark side of love. That night, I slipped out of my body and fell into a place I never thought I would see. A place filled with fire, torment, and screams so loud they shook my soul. And there, in the flames, I saw people who once whispered, "I love you." People who died believing that lust, obsession, betrayal, and heartbreak were love. For exactly 20 minutes, I was trapped there, and what I saw has haunted me every single day since. But before I take you into my journey, into the moment I crossed the line between life and death, I want to pause and say this. To everyone watching, reading, and supporting this channel, thank you. Your love, your prayers, and your encouragement keep these stories alive. If you're new here, welcome to this family. My name is Queen. I was born in the city of Calabar, Nigeria, on a rainy Wednesday in June 1991. I grew up in what many would call a Christian home. My parents never missed church, and as children, my siblings and I followed along faithfully. We sang in the choir, recited memory verses, and wore our best clothes every Sunday. But truthfully, inside my heart, I never really understood God. Church was a routine, not a relationship. As a teenager, my heart was restless. I craved attention. I wanted to be loved, to be noticed, to be desired. And when I was 16, I thought I found it. His name was Daniel. He was older, smooth-talking, and when he told me I was beautiful, I believed him more than I ever believed any sermon about God's love. For the first time, I felt alive. I thought, this must be love. But that love came with scars. He was controlling, jealous, and sometimes violent. Yet, I stayed, because I feared being alone. When he finally left me for another girl, my world shattered. I remember lying on my bed, staring at the ceiling, whispering to myself, if this isn't love, then what is? From that point, I began chasing love in all the wrong places. One relationship after another, each one emptier than the last. I told myself, at least I'm not sleeping around like some girls, but in truth, I was giving away pieces of my heart to men who only wanted my body. By my 20s, I had become what people call a good girl gone bad. Outwardly, I looked fine. I still went to church, still smiled at family gatherings, still posted happy pictures online. But behind closed doors, my life was tangled with secrets. I drank to numb the pain. I spent nights in hotel rooms, convincing myself, this is love. At least someone wants me. My relationship with God faded into the background. I prayed less, sinned more, and quieted my conscience with excuses. God understands. At least I'm not as bad as others. The truth. I was empty. I would cry myself to sleep after nights of so-called love. The men who said I love you would disappear by morning. The promises of forever crumbled after weeks. My heart was a battlefield, torn between guilt and craving affection. I remember one particular night, March 2019. I sat in my room scrolling through Instagram, seeing couples posting engagement rings and honeymoon pictures. I threw my phone across the bed and screamed, God, why not me? Why don't you give me love? But what I didn't realize was this: the love I wanted was not love at all. It was lust. It was obsession. It was chains disguised as roses. And the more I pursued it, the farther I ran from the one who is love himself, Jesus. If you had asked me then about hell, I would have laughed nervously. Oh yes, I know it's real, I'd say, but inside, I treated it like a distant nightmare. Something for murderers and witches, not for a girl like me who just wanted to be loved. But I was wrong. So very wrong. Because in May 2019, on the night that changed everything, the night was May 14th, 2019. I had just returned from an outing with a man I thought cared about me. He had promised me the world, whispered in my ear that he wanted to marry me, that he had never met someone like me. I believed him. I wanted to believe him. But by the end of the evening, he left me in tears, just like the others. His last words before slamming the door of his car still echo in my mind. You're too much trouble. Nobody will ever love you the way you want. I walked back into my apartment feeling like my soul had been ripped open. The silence of the room mocked me. My chest ached with more than just heartbreak, it was as if a heavy stone pressed against me. I poured myself a glass of alcohol, then another, then another. By the third glass, my head felt dizzy. My heart was racing, then slowing, then racing again. I stumbled to my bed, clutching my chest. God, please, please just make the pain stop, I whispered, tears blurring my vision. My body trembled, my breath shallow. And then, in an instant, everything went still. I heard a loud crack, like thunder inside my ears. My body lay motionless on the bed, but I was no longer inside it. I floated above myself, staring down at my own lifeless form. My lips were slightly parted, the glass of alcohol spilled on the sheets. Panic shot through me. What is happening? Am I dying? No, I can't die. Then, a sound. A low, guttural growl from somewhere unseen. The air grew heavy. Suddenly, a violent force yanked at me like invisible chains wrapped around my ankles, dragging me downwards. I screamed, clawing at the air, but my fingers touched nothing. The room dissolved. Darkness swallowed me whole. The descent was terrifying. I felt as though I was falling into an endless pit, faster and faster, my cries drowned by a roaring wind. Then came the smell, sulfur, like burning rubber mixed with rotting flesh. My stomach churned, bile rising in my throat, but there was no body to vomit from. In the distance, faint at first, I heard screams. Not ordinary screams, these were guttural, hopeless wails that pierced my very soul. The closer I was dragged, the louder they became, until it felt like thousands of voices were crying out in torment all around me. I landed with a violent thud on scorching ground. The heat was unbearable, searing my skin though I had no body. I gasped, and the air itself burned like fire rushing into my lungs. The ground beneath me was cracked, glowing red with lava. All around were shadows writhing in flames, human shapes, their faces twisted in agony. I tried to run, but chains clamped around my wrists, pulling me back. Shadows with eyes like burning coals circled me. Their laughter was a sound I can never forget, like knives scraping glass, cruel and mocking. One of them hissed, "Welcome to the dark side of love." I froze. My mind raced. What does that mean? What love? The demon dragged me toward a pit where men and women screamed, clutching each other, burning together. Some shouted names, lovers, spouses, even pastors. Others cursed the very people they once claimed to love. Their cries weren't just pain, they were regret. And in that moment, I realized, I was not dreaming. I was not hallucinating. I was in hell. And I was about to see the ground beneath me cracked open, glowing with fire that hissed like boiling oil. My ears rang with endless screams, a symphony of agony that rose and fell like crashing waves. The chains around my wrists yanked me forward as if something wanted me to see, to witness, to understand. All around me, I saw people. Countless souls, men and women, young and old, burning but never consumed. Their skin peeled, melted, and reformed only to burn again. Their mouths stretched open, screaming for mercy that never came. But what shook me most were their words. Some cried out the names of lovers. "Daniel, Daniel, you lied to me. You said you loved me." Others shouted bitter curses. "I gave you my heart. You ruined me." I watched a man clutch the charred remains of a woman, screaming, "I killed for you. I sold my soul for you." But the woman only shrieked back, "I never loved you. I used you." Both were consumed by the flames, their accusations swallowed by the roar of hell. The demons laughed, circling them like vultures. One pointed at me and hissed, "This is the fruit of your love. This is where selfish love leads." I fell to my knees, trembling. No, 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 this can't be real. This can't be me. But then I saw faces. Faces I recognized. A girl I once partied with, who always joked, "God will forgive us. Let's enjoy life first." She was there, screaming, clawing at her own skin. She locked eyes with me and wailed, "Queen, don't come here. Don't come here." Before I could speak, a demon slashed across her face, and her cries blended into the chorus of pain. Next, I saw couples bound together by chains of fire. They clung to each other, but their embrace only worsened their torment. Every time they shouted "I love you," the flames flared higher. It was as if their very words had become fuel for their suffering. A cold realization pierced my soul. In hell, the very thing they had idolized, their version of love, had become their prison. I heard whispers, taunting and sharp. Demons recited words I once believed. Love is pleasure. Love is holding someone so they never leave you. Love is giving your body to prove your worth. Every phrase twisted into a chain that bound the souls tighter. I covered my ears, sobbing, "God, forgive me. I didn't know. I didn't know." Then, out of the smoke, a figure emerged. A tall shadow, eyes burning like furnaces, wings torn and scorched. Its voice was deep, commanding, dripping with hatred. "I am the prince of the dark side of love. Every soul who mistook lust for love belongs to me. Every woman who traded purity for affection. Every man who used love as a mask for selfishness. They are mine." I trembled, my knees weak. But I just wanted to be loved. I didn't mean to. The demon laughed, a sound that shook the ground. "And that is why you are here. You chose man's love over God's. You chased empty words instead of eternal truth. Look around, this is your family now." At that, the souls around me turned their faces toward me. Their eyes hollow, their screams echoing, "Join us, join us, join us." Terror consumed me. I tried to run, but the ground opened beneath my feet, flames leaping to swallow me whole. The heat seared my skin, the chains pulled tighter. My throat was raw from screaming. In that moment, as the fire surged, I realized something horrifying. If mercy did not intervene, I would never escape. Hell was real. And I was seconds away from being lost forever. Just as the flames leapt to consume me, I let out one last desperate cry. "Jesus, please, don't let me die here." The fire froze. The screams of the damned went silent. For a single heartbeat, hell itself held its breath. Then, in the distance, I saw it, a light. Faint at first, like a candle in the wind, but growing brighter, stronger, fiercer than the flames around me. The demons shrieked and recoiled, covering their faces. The chains around my wrists rattled violently, then snapped like glass. The light descended, cutting through the smoke, the darkness, the endless torment. And from within it, a voice thundered, a voice that was not angry, but filled with authority, mercy, and sorrow all at once. "Queen." The sound of my name shook me to the core. No one had spoken my name in hell until that moment. Tears filled my eyes. "Lord, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I just wanted to be loved." The voice replied, gentle but piercing, "I am love. And you chose counterfeits. You chased shadows and called them love, but they were chains. My daughter, this place is not for you, not yet." I fell on my face, trembling. The light wrapped around me like a shield, and for the first time since I had been dragged down, I felt warmth that wasn't burning me. It was healing me. The demon who had declared ownership of me screamed in fury. "She belongs to us. She gave herself to lies. She lived for lust." The light responded with authority that silenced even the fires. "Her time has not yet come. I have chosen mercy. She will go back, but she will speak. She will warn them. She will tell them what she has seen." At that moment, I felt hands, not cruel, not clawed, but strong and gentle, lift me from the pit. The ground beneath me closed, the flames withdrew, and the screams faded into the distance. As I rose, the voice continued, each word carving itself into my spirit like fire that did not burn but purified. "Tell them, not every love is love. Tell them, lust is not love, obsession is not love, abuse is not love. Tell them, I am love, and whoever abides in me abides in love eternal." 1 John 4 verse 16. I sobbed, my spirit shaking with grief and relief all at once. "Lord, I don't deserve this chance." The voice whispered, almost like a father cradling his child. "That is why it is called grace." The light grew brighter until it swallowed everything. My ears rang, my chest tightened, and suddenly I was gasping, coughing violently. My eyes shot open. I was back in my room, lying in the same bed, the alcohol still spilled across the sheets. My heart pounded like drums. I looked at the clock. Only 20 minutes had passed. But those 20 minutes felt like an eternity. When I opened my eyes that night, I was not the same woman who had collapsed 20 minutes earlier. My body was trembling, drenched in sweat, but it wasn't just from fear, it was from the weight of what I had just seen. The glass of alcohol on my bed looked different now. It wasn't comfort anymore, it was poison. I pushed it away, falling to my knees. My tears soaked the floor as I whispered over and over, "Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for mercy. Thank you for pulling me out." From that night, everything changed. I couldn't live the same way anymore. The relationships that had chained me, I cut them off immediately. Numbers were deleted, contacts blocked, doors slammed shut. The men who once whispered "I love you" no longer had any power over me, because I had seen the truth. Their love was a lie that could drag me to eternal fire. I returned to church, but this time it was not out of duty. It was desperation. I needed God like I needed air. Worship was no longer just songs, it was survival. Prayer was no longer routine, it was my lifeline. My friends noticed the difference. Some mocked me, saying, "You've changed too much." I smiled through the tears and told them, "If you saw what I saw, you would change too." And slowly, God began to heal me. He filled the emptiness I once tried to satisfy with men. He replaced shame with peace, loneliness with His presence. I finally understood the words I had ignored for so long. God is love. 1 John 4 verse 8. Not the world's love. Not broken love. But real, eternal, unshakable love. My friend, I need you to hear me, hell is real. I was there for only 20 minutes, but it felt like forever. And the most shocking part? So many souls were there because of the lies they believed about love. Don't be deceived. Lust is not love. Control is not. My friend, I want to leave you with this question. Do you believe hell is real? I was there for 20 minutes, and what I saw will stay with me forever. Love without God leads to destruction, but love rooted in Christ leads to life eternal. Please share your thoughts below. Have you ever experienced a warning dream or a near-death encounter? I would love to hear from you. Thank you for listening. May God keep you safe, may His love fill your heart, and until next time, stay ready.